Hello everyone,
And welcome to Israel Unleashed.
Israel Unleashed back at you.
Welcome to another episode, and you know Ellie, I'm Keith, and we're your famous host. And today we're going to talk about catastrophe, things that God does to get people's attention
Yes,
and make them aware of Him and His presence, and basically, possibly, when it comes to catastrophe, sometimes maybe it's to change your ways or to notice something that He wants you to notice.
probably.
And as you know, as we know, like a lot of times we here lately, we see a lot more hurricanes, a lot more destruction in some places.
Heat all over the place, and
With social media, you have a lot of you're a lot more aware than you used to be. And I don't know, man. And nowadays, it's kind of funny. Why I say that is because I don't know. Man, when I was a child, you know, it seemed like time took forever. You know, when I went from like being a child to maybe 20 years old, it seemed like an eternity. You know what I mean? Now I've been here 20 years, and it almost seems like it's been a couple of years almost. You know what I mean? Like I wake up, I do a couple things a day, and the day is already over. You know, and I'm ready for the next day. I mean, the time has gone by real quick lately. It's like in a way we're leading up to something, and it's something big. And the funny thing is, are we prepared for it? And I think God does send us signs and stuff like that. He wants us to be aware of things, and He wants us to know of His presence and stuff like that. But you know, I think it's more on a level today where it's more. How do you say this? It's like more knowing than ever. You know what I mean? And I think it's important because I think He wants you to know that He's there, and you know He does protect you, or you know He can take you or make you or whatever. You know, He's the all-powerful man, so He's capable of doing anything and everything that He wants. But sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. You know what I mean?
well, those things that we see draw our attention towards the meaning of life. And you
Right.
see many people starting to share their thoughts all over the net and all over the world with one another in order to understand, to come to some equation. What is the meaning of life? Why we are going through what we are going through.
Understand.
So I think if we want to learn the lesson well, it will repeat itself and it will be worse.
Right.
So
Do you find that it's repeating itself more today than ever, or
yes, it's repeating itself very
like that maybe people aren't getting the messages they should be getting?
They are getting the message, but
Are they accepting it is the question.
you know, you can understand something on general level,
Right.
but until it comes to your own actions,
Right.
it can take time.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I understand.
so people start to ask questions. It is good, but I think until we all, as a humanity, won't come to the conclusion that we all have to let's do our ways better, it won't stop. It will continue. It will be worse. And we have to understand when we got it all wrong, and all on personal level, also as society, and on personal level also.
Isn't that really the direction we're going? Like it's going worse and worse and worse until you know
Yes.
there is an understanding of what our actions really are. I mean, because I mean, obviously, things are meant to happen, but we're the ones making them happen. But there is a powerful force that you know that in a way is making it happen too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's in a way it's meant to happen. You know?
It's meant. Why it's meant to happen? Because of our deeds. You know?
Because of our deeds, we're supposed to learn from our ways. You know what I mean?
It's like a sentence. They sentence you from above to something
Right.
according to our deeds. So we should understand. We have to, you know,
Right.
improve ourselves in order that the sentence will be better. Or
You know, the funny thing is, you know, to improve yourselves and work on yourself is something very, you know, I found personally is very hard to do.
of
I mean,
course.
I do it. I try my best to do it because, you know, I feel that I need to do it. But and I try to be. It's my choice to try to be this certain way, because that's the person I want to be. But I mean, it's hard to. I find it easier to help other people and do things for other people more easier than working on myself sometimes. You know what I mean? But like I see things and I hear things and I read things in the paper and stuff like that about daily events that would happen and stuff like that, and like there's just like this cycle of like violence that just keeps going on and over and over, and it gets even more violent, even more worse, and more catastrophic compared to what it used to be. And also they have like the divide amongst people worldwide in a lot of arenas, and they also like don't help this situation either. That further this cycle of further this cycle of violence and like the impending doom, I guess.
People
what I mean?
who commit suicides
Yeah.
can't stand the position of the world, can't stand poverty, personal troubles, divorces, parents abuse their children, all kinds of bad things. And I don't think it was that way before. I don't think it's the media who's opens it. I think it's.
I don't think it's the media either. But on the other hand, I think it's social media that there's so many topics and so many things that people think about daily that they want to talk about that expresses and opens up this like forum of like understanding and makes people more aware of what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, you have people who sit and talk about stuff and don't care about stuff and whatever, but there are people that are behind that want to make people more aware of what's going on and stuff like that.
There are people who care about each other and they want to open issues and talk and solve problems.
Like us, like sending our love to people.
Yes.
We want to make the world a better place. You know what I mean?
I think we want to express our ideas and share our thoughts with the world, and this is our stage.
Oh man, I'm down with that. Man. But when it comes to like certain events, we're in a day and a time where like I don't even think people know if it's day or night. You know what I mean? I mean, people can't comprehend the difference between the both. There's light and then there's darkness, as they say, more like in a spiritual sense. And this is, I think, something that like we're gripping with today. That like that they're bringing on this impending something big's coming, and you
we
feel
all
it.
sense it. Yes,
We all sense it. We all know something's big coming, and this is something that like this is, in my opinion, a higher power that's bringing us to the situation. And life is all about learning.
Yes.
It's a learning process.
Yes.
And I personally think the creator above, he wants you to learn, and if it's right or if it's wrong, but he wants you to learn something. I mean, we all realize we're involved in stuff, but a lot of people haven't really like accepted that yet or comprehended that.
I think people in this world accept all things differently on different levels, but our goal is to make them nearer to God, the willing of a God.
Yeah, he wants to bring you near, bring you closer to him.
Yes.
I mean, you do realize that people like I think the most important part of like in Judaism of our history, other than Abraham making a covenant, was Moses on Mount Sinai with the tablets and the law and God presenting Himself to him and the people and stuff like that. I mean, I think there was a pivotal moment in history that people realize that they there is a higher being and there is something watching over us. There's a reason why we're here.
It's the moment that justifies the world, the existence of the world.
Yeah.
Without that, you have humans, you have our animal needs,
Right.
and we act like that.
That's true.
We kill each other, we rape each other, we rob each other.
Right.
Without those tablets and those, all this mitzvot that God gave to Jews and showed non-Jews how to take an example from Jews, like say it like that.
Yeah.
Without that, there is no justifying to the existence of the world.
That's true.
we all be like in the time of Noah, when everybody was acting like animals towards another, and God will finish us.
That's true. But on the other hand, God made a promise that He wouldn't finish us. At least not in the way that He did with Noah.
He made a promise,
He made a
but
promise.
He also obligated us to
Follow.
fulfill His orders.
His orders, yeah.
Yes, so it's
It's
not unconditional promise.
that's
It's
true.
a promise, but that has conditions. Let's say it like that.
When you sit and think about, because you have it like in Egyptian and Sumerian, all the tablets where they talk about the Great Flood and stuff like that and whatever. But I mean, like to even like fathom the moment that God actually destroyed the world and all its people and kept one small group of people, like one family alive.
Yes.
To recreate and repopulate the earth. That's
Yes.
I mean, it's something fascinating, man. You know what I mean? I mean, that, in a way, if that would happen today, God forbid, it's scary. But I mean, the fact that it happened and it happened 5,000 something years ago, that, I mean, is mind blowing. And I mean, we can't really fathom because we weren't here to see it. And
Yes,
in
I
this
agree.
lifetime,
If
we
you
weren't
think
here to
about
see
the
it,
situation, it's also there's a movie on the in Hollywood about this several years ago.
yeah.
With Russell
Oh,
Crowe.
yeah, I've seen this movie.
I seen it also, and it was it makes you think about the meaning.
It does make you think about the meaning, but
Where's the humanity without values?
yeah.
What God thinks of this human without the words?
Well, they showed it perfect in the movie. They showed it that, how people were robbing and raping and killing one another and without any care, any fear, or anything. Like there was no love towards one another, and there wasn't there wasn't any respect and stuff. And what's strange about that, or not strange but weird about that, is you've seen the exact same thing today.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
you see those things.
We
Yes,
see the exact same thing. I mean, we've come to a point where we've had it at one point in time, and now we're having it again.
but
But the difference,
okay.
I think, the difference between us in that moment, it was like
Yes.
that God destroyed us. This time it's us destroying ourselves. Can you look at it like that?
But yes, it's God doesn't have to destroy us in order
Yeah,
that
he
we
can
can
sit back
destroy
and
us.
watch, but I
Yes.
mean, he obviously he already knows what the outcome's going to be already anyway. He does keep things out.
But he give us those hints.
He gives us signs and whatever, but we have every right to stop it, man. We just need to come together as a collective and make it happen and make the right decision. The question is, are we going to make that happen? And we're getting
Well,
closer.
it depends
closer.
on us.
Yeah, it depends on us, but we're getting closer and closer to that moment every day.
Yes.
You know?
So it's becoming much more critical every day to behave better,
I agree.
because we are closer to this time when he decides what to do.
True. As you realize, I mean, there's many people in this world. I mean, what is there? There's 8 or 9 billion people in the whole world and stuff like that. I mean, I doubt 8 or 9 million people are like evil or
Everybody
care less
influences.
about anything and make them want the
Listen,
destruction. but-
even the evil, even the evil people have choices
true, but I
between
honestly,
being more evil, less evil.
I think
okay,
I think that's a minority. You know what I mean? And evil. I think the evil are a minority group of people, man. And
If the evil
they
was,
try to speak for the masses. Yeah.
listen, if the evil was minority,
Yeah.
they wouldn't hurt us. We wouldn't deserve the bad things we see. You understand me?
I got you.
So meaning that we also involved in this evil things, even though we are not robbing, stealing, and this and that.
That's true. But like you see places of where governments are in total control and they beat their people into submission and stuff. And kill them relentlessly. Keep them as slaves, or you know what I mean.
I understand what you're saying.
Like you see that
There are spots in the world.
There are spots in the world you see evil at work. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And then there are other things where people are they have a charisma and a strong voice that they can guide people to do their bidding too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you see it here in Israel, man. Like you see it in my opinion, coming out of Ramallah. You know what I mean? You have that guy particularly. He wants money and power and he's leading people to do things that normal people on an average wouldn't do. but because of the situation, people do things because they know they're going to get paid for it. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You know. Like I mean, evil's everywhere. I mean, it's not there, it's not here, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's on every personal level, on the society
Some
level,
people do
on
it.
a governmental level. On
Yeah,
every
some
level.
people do it charismatically and like politely, I guess. It doesn't look like it's such bad and such. It looks like some normal thing. There are people that are good at doing bad things.
Pretending.
But there are some people who don't care whatsoever. You know what I mean? I mean, their intentions are very evil. It's like Iran. I mean, I personally think like their regime that's governing and what they're trying to do and trying to take over the Middle East. I mean, it's not some secret. At least over here, it's not a secret. But they have evil intentions, and they don't care how many people they kill to get their goal or destroy who they want to destroy. I mean, it's a reality on the ground in the Middle East. You know what I mean?
The minute they conquer Iran, this regime, like you say, the minute they do it, no matter what they believe in, the minute they force the people to be like them, you understand it's evil.
Right. It's evil, but I mean every day they're doing attacks against people in many countries across the Middle East. They're doing attacks on people, on militaries and stuff like that. I mean, and their intentions aren't good, but I mean.
I heard one rabbi said, you believe in one God, in the same moment you believe that you cannot kill. You cannot kill. It's forbidden. God told you, don't kill.
It's one of the most ultimate. Well, it's one of the most ultimate sins you can do is to kill.
And you have these regimes in the world like Iran. It's like a second nature for them.
Yeah.
If not the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like top of the agenda. Yeah.
So what blessing they bring to the world, I don't understand. I'm really sorry for the Iranian people that they have to live under those regimes, and also the Palestinian people.
Yeah. I mean, you see it coming out in the public on the streets when people come out and they protest and they actually say the truth about what's going on and their real feelings, and then right after they start to do that, then you see military and police and beat them down and shoot them and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we just seen that a couple weeks ago.
Who serves who?
We seen that a couple weeks ago just here in Israel and in the West Bank. You know what I mean?
The government should serve the public, right?
Yeah.
Not to beat the public.
No, but they were beating them down and stuff like that too, because like I don't know. Right now, I see that they want the leader of the Palestinian Authority to go home, and they want to obviously they want someone new. This guy was.
Maybe it's a good sign.
He was voted in for 4 years and he served like 16 or something like this. You know what I mean? So I mean, people want change. People don't want no greedy guy who's gonna cut them down where they stand because they can't say what they want to say. I mean, they have rights too. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I mean, I don't know, but it's also a form of catastrophe. I mean, when you have stuff like that happening to people, and when you have people who aren't able to have their basic rights and freedoms and stuff like that, and someone's oppressing them, it's a form of catastrophe, if you ask me. Too. I mean, other catastrophe that we were talking about is like destruction of certain things and natural disasters and stuff like that. Like volcanoes erupting or earthquakes or whatever. I mean, you had not too long ago, like maybe I don't know, so many years back, you had like in Indonesia, you had that tsunami that wiped out like almost 250,000 or 500,000 people like in minutes, man. You remember that? I think I remember, yes.
I mean,
I think that was more than 10 years ago, but I mean...
From all those tsunamis and tornadoes, I can't recall all of them, but...
No, I can't recall all of them, but that's one that stuck out because,
At some point that, I lost the,
No, I know, but I mean, that was one that stuck out, that and the one in like Japan where they had the meltdown of the nuclear reactor and whatever.
Fukushima.
In Fukushima and stuff like that, but I mean, it killed like hundreds of thousands of people, man. Like these natural disasters and stuff like that,
And we're saying that the science.
And I've never in my life have seen something on such a grand scale of a level of that, of that kind of carnage and destruction.
Because it's something new.
It is something new. You know what I mean? And how do you question that? You know what I mean? How do you answer that? You know what I mean? What is that? What made that happen? You know what I mean?
Maybe when I think
Why
about
did that
this,
happen, honestly? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think about it, why would, why would that happen? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not that I want to bring God into everything and stuff like that, but I mean, like,
even if you don't want to bring God on everything,
No, I know,
he
but,
comes without asking you.
that is true. He doesn't really care what your opinions or feelings are. He comes when you least
He
expect it.
cares about you, but if he wants to help you, that's
Yeah.
probably that's the thing he wants. He comes without asking.
Well, you said to me once we were talking, like some months back, I think, or we were talking to me, and you told me that God actually fumes. You know, I mean, he actually gets angry. You talked about that with me. in detail.
Okay, maybe you don't understand me right, but it's like he has feelings,
No,
because he's above feelings.
yeah, that's true.
But the things that he does, we can interpret it as angry and some things like that. But if he does that, those accidents, we can understand he's not satisfied of our behavior.
I hear you.
So
Well, when you see what's going on and stuff like that, how can you be excited about your behavior? Because you do see people doing like bad things and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yes,
And then a lot of times you see people glorifying that kind of stuff, which is also like kind of disturbing too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. So that's what I had to say about that. But,
okay. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode of Israel Unleashed. Thank you.
Bye bye.